What is up, you guys? Jake State Farm here with Atomic Theory, back with another Atomic Chess video. And real quick, if you noticed that the thumbnail on this video was way better than anything it's been in the past, that's because rabbie.r did it on, he made it for me, he drew it himself. So I'm going to link his Discord down below if you're interested. I know he's like not super interested in selling his services right now. But maybe in the future, if you're interested in that, do go check out his Discord. But for today's video, we are going to be going over 3 more games for the Guess the Elo series. It seemed to go pretty well last time, so I'm going to do it again. We'll just hop right into it. I guess we're going to start off with a submission from a random player. Already ran the random number generator on his study here, and we are ended up with the 9th game in the study. And same thing as last time, everyone who submits a game that is featured in this video will receive 5 SC. That'll be a random player, Zacapillar, and Study B. And whoever does the best, whoever I'm furthest away from, will get an additional 5 server coins as well. That's all for the Discord server. Once again, link down below in the description. But okay, let's get right into it. This is a random player submission here. Time control is 3 + 0. Played December 30th of last year. Okay, I'm trying to think. Hourly Atomic Arena. Okay, yeah, not too much to go off of. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think Nas was still playing at that time. That was maybe right before Nas got banned, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe this is like Nas's last game or something like that. Just a guess. But okay. And we see here, this is a line that Nas would play. Okay, but the E3, this is giving me more so Maxwell, Silver Hammer. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely a line that Maxwell would play. At that time period, he was playing E3 as well. Nowadays, in this line, there's some other things that he goes for instead of E3, but so far it seems like it could be Max. I don't see any mistakes. B4 is the book move here, so he'll still be in prep. Knight C6 is a little less common, I think, but, well, that may be one of the more common responses. I know G5 and Knight F6 are both moves here, so Knight C6 is a little surprising, but, okay, so 98. This all seems like perfect play so far from the white side. G4 is a very strong move. Obviously, you want to play bishop takes B7. But then it allows potentially knight G4, although this would be mate. So I'm wondering why he didn't go into this. Say takes, knight G4, F3, takes. This is just mate. So personally, I probably would have just taken, because I don't see what black really has there. If you don't go knight G4, no matter what you do, say king F7, I can just go rook C8. And after knight G4, F3, if takes, it's just going to transpose. At some point, you're going to have to take, and then I can play F3, blocking this whole idea off, and white should win this endgame. So G4, good move, makes a lot of sense, but also probably not the move I would have gone for. But okay, I guess it kind of transposes anyway, so it probably doesn't really matter, to be honest. And okay, white wins by checkmate in 24 moves. The thing is, the white player played pretty much perfectly this game. Even G4 was probably not a mistake. I mean, I think it's not what I would have played, but I think it totally worked anyway, because you're also threatening G takes F5. So, I mean, black's pretty screwed in this position anyway. So the white player, I think, is very strong. I think it could be Maxwell, which, if so, I should guess like maybe 2400, because he's been as high as like 2650, but then he's also sometimes like 2300. So just to be safe, I think I'll say like 24, 20, let's go 24 for the white side. And for the player with the black pieces, they didn't play poorly at all, but knight C6 was just kind of a surprising move. I guess this was an hourly Atomic Arena as well, so this could have been... Makes me think it's not as much Maxwell, because he doesn't play these as much. I'm trying to think who else it could be that would play this specific E3 line in the opening. And no one really comes to mind. I mean, I don't really know the landscape of the Hourly Atomic Arena too much. So just to be safe, I'm going to go like 2350 because now that I'm thinking about it, with it being Hourly Atomic Arena, I'm not convinced that this is Maxwell, even though they did play a pretty perfect game. You know, after knight c6, I don't know what the eval is here, but I think white just may be completely winning right here at this point anyway. So maybe the white player was not too strong. So I'm going to go 2350 for the white side. And for the black side, I'll go, let's say 2100. Okay, so 2350 for white and 2100 for black. Let's see what it is here. Oh, turn off computer analysis. That'll slow it down. So game 9 answer, I think it's... Oh, here it is. What in the world? Are you serious, bro? Oh my goodness. That's insane. 1845? That's insane. Wait a second. If this guy got banned, this is not a real. Did this guy get banned? That's insane, dude. Holy moly. And this dude is not banned. He's only 1875, which means he probably wasn't cheating. So he did technically have a blunder, but... Okay, so yeah, like I said, G4 was actually a mistake. That was the one move that I was actually a little bit critical of. My evaluation in these Guess the Elo games tends to be pretty on point, actually. Bishop G2, I was not suspect of at all, though. I guess the computer doesn't like it, but only if you find this move. And then you still... I guess it makes sense. I didn't really calculate this. Rook C1, you are kind of threatening both of these here, so... Surprising that it's only plus 0.2 here. I mean, I would think after Rook C1, or Rook C7, sorry. Okay, it is plus 4, I was going to say. Seems like after Rook C7 and takes, it should be pretty good, so... the computer eval is just off here. But okay, yeah, G4 was the one move that I will say I was a bit critical of. And it does give this nice... I think this is a must-find move for black. Yeah, anything else is completely losing for black. So, okay, I guess white did make some mistakes there in the middle game. But for the most part, very good game. And like to know 10 moves of prep in this position is pretty remarkable. I mean, D3 in my opinion is the best move in this position. Maybe the computer disagrees, but D3, if we turn on the opening book here, you'll see that yeah, D3 has by far the highest win rate here. So, and then yeah, following it up with knight C7 and B4. I mean, this guy clearly knew his prep in a not so common line. So, yeah, because I think in this position, I don't think F5 is the most common move. I guess it is number 2, so maybe not as uncommon as I thought it was. But okay, we were so off there. So 2350 was my guess. The right answer was 1845, so off 505 points from the white side. And then 2100 minus 1937, 163 plus 505. So a total of 668 points off, which I think is going to probably be the winner for today, unless I just royally screw up another one. But that will likely be the winner for today's video. And by far the worst I've done on a Guess the Elo so far, even though my analysis of the game was not too far off. The analysis for the players themselves was apparently really bad. So, okay. Hopping into this one, we have Zacapiller here. And, okay. It is from 2020. So, potentially could have been one of my old games. Time control is 3+0, but is this... Okay, it is truly 3+0. Okay, never mind. This is not one of my games. He drew a arrow for me. I appreciate that. Yeah, so a missed mate in 1 here. Oh, and I see that the black side berserked here because their time started at half. Okay. So I'm wondering if this is going to be... I think it's funny how bishop c4 is really, really bad move, I think. But f5 makes some sense. Okay, I mean, like f takes c6 should be pretty strong. Here you're threatening bishop f7 and also something like queen f5 coming into g6 and d7. So I think I would have just played this because, like, if you stop my bishop threat, then I have queen f5. And if you stop my queen threat, then I have bishop to f7, king e7, and then something like d5, forcing out d6 maybe, and then queen f4. And this should be mate. So, yeah, I mean, actually, the knight covers a square, but there's just no way to stop this threat, actually. You may even have this right off the bat. You may not even have to play d5, now that I think about it. So, see, I think another missed mate here. Oh my gosh, it looks like Zach Capillar went and did some research here on some lines, maybe, or okay, I don't know what this is all about, but anyway, d5 was the move. Okay, queen g3 makes sense. Okay, here I would like to see something like knight c3. E4 is always a tempting move in these types of positions to put pressure on the black pawn, but this is a very important idea in Atomic, where if you're controlling this square already, then it's a better option to actually attack this square, say with knight c3, because now you actually are threatening to take, and if black were to push, hypothetically you could take. Of course, in this exact position you can't, but now you're getting an infiltrated knight instead, so if they don't allow you to take here, something like this, and I mean, okay, this is actually already just checkmate in this exact position. Let's say king c7. Okay, wow, actually this crazy tactic here, rook c1, this is pretty insane. If d2, you have takes with check. If you take, then check again, and I believe this would eventually be checkmate. So if d3 doesn't work, I mean, maybe there's some king d7 there, maybe there's a way out, but like, let's say black sees all that and doesn't want to go into d7, then you get the knight in, and then you are able to open up. So anyway, e4, tempting move, seems like one that like comes with the right thought process, but just not the right calculation. e4 just simply doesn't work against d4 here. And still, I would play knight c3 here if I were the player with the white pieces. Obviously, you can't take because there's rook takes d8 there. So here, I think knight c3 is pretty strong, but instead we see knight to d2, followed by knight c4. And okay, wow, bishop e3. Okay, this is a really low quality game. Okay, so my thought immediately is that the black player is probably stronger because they berserked, but this is just such a low quality game. It's a really bad game, like really bad. And no offense to anyone that is at this level, but just objectively speaking, there were a lot of mistakes this game. So I think the black player is slightly higher. I'm not really sure what the ratings are. I'm just gonna say 1500 for white and 1700 for black. I think the opening even is a bit telling. It wasn't like they played some crazy theory. So yeah, let's go 1500 for the white, or yeah, 1500 for the white side and 1700 for the black side. Hey, that's pretty good. We almost absolutely sniped the white side. We were 1 point off for the player with the white pieces, and Opa Benia with the black pieces. So I see I've thrown a little bit of shade at Opa. But okay, not too bad, honestly. We were a total of 244 points off there. So all things considered, that one was much better. I'm curious if there's a link to the game here, so I can pull it up and see if there's potentially a computer analysis here. Yeah, That's pretty bad. Shout out to Opa. He took me down AWC last year. Certainly a very strong player. You can see our all-time record is very close. So no disrespect to the homeboy, but definitely not the highest quality game on his part. All right. Let's hop into this is studies games here. So we're just going to go over this first one. Once again, it's a 3+0 game played on, I believe that's February 8th. I'm not actually sure how Lichess does the dates here. Okay, yeah. This was played on February 8th, 2025. So would have been right before the chess.com championships. Okay, see a similar opening to last time, but this one's much higher quality here. A move like e6 makes a lot of sense, opening up this bishop. Instead, we see g6, which doesn't accomplish a whole lot, considering this e-pawn hasn't been pushed yet. This move just doesn't do a whole lot. And here, I think it's potentially forced mate here. So I've got a runny nose. I've got some bad allergies. Queen a5, let's say c3, defending this d4 square. I guess it's probably not forced mate. Obviously, you can't move to any of these squares because the knight will take. Okay, so I guess it doesn't work after all. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see how much time was spent on this move, but I guess this move was right because otherwise, say you go here, it does open up these squares, so it just makes it a little bit scarier. Even though I think after queen to a4, there's no mates because c3 always covers this d4 square. So I don't actually think the player with the black pieces has forced mate no matter what. But I could be wrong. Okay, just went over this in my beginner mistakes video. Here I would much rather see bishop takes a6. The problem is after e6 and yeah, queen g4, which is another not great move, black can infiltrate with the knight here. So you'd much rather just trade off this bishop. Bishops generally really don't do a whole lot on c4. Maybe he's trying to set something up, but like if you take here, then it opens up the bishop. So yeah, we see knight c5. I mean, I probably would have played knight b4 instead, but still a solid move, threatening this knight e4, which is actually pretty nasty. So maybe knight c5 is actually a better move on second thought. But we see d4, which is a good move, stopping this double attack here. Okay, so you could throw in this move, but I guess queen h4 makes sense. And now bishop g5 trying to get cute, but now knight f6 is pretty strong, forcing king f8. Whoa, and then white wants to go for a perpetual here. Okay, I guess that makes sense. I guess it makes sense because you're going to lose your queen here. But black says no, and actually gives up material into a losing endgame, where here, white goes for e4, but really I'd rather see castles first. Just go ahead and gain this rook on this open f file. But okay, we see pawn to e4. Rook f1. Okay, this is actually, yeah, I was going to say bishop h6 is very strong. You can't go rook f7 because then this bishop takes e6. So this is actually really well played from white here. Okay. Okay, and then some missed checkmates as well there. Okay, so this was a 3+0 game played in February of 2025, so a little over a year ago. I mean, I really was not a fan of the way white played this opening. Bishop c4 doesn't make any sense. Like, you should definitely go bishop takes a6 here. I'm getting this feeling that this is possibly how I could have played as the black side if this is a troll game. That's more like the first thought I have for every game, like, is this possibly my game? And I mean, in a 3+0 game, like, it's very possible that I played f6, and also, like, this is an opening that at the time I wouldn't have known very well at all. So it's very possible I played g6 here as well, and then looking at everything else, like, all of this makes sense. Although I probably would have gone for queen a5, so it's probably not me. Yeah, it's probably not. Okay. But the black player could be strong. The white player I really don't think is that strong. I'm going to say, just because of the way that he played the endgame was pretty strong here, I'm going to say 1900 for the white side. And then for the black side, I'm going to say 2100 for the black side. I think this is a game where they want me to think that the players are lower rated. But actually, when you look at the game, I think that there was some mistakes made in the opening, and then this bishop g5 move, which was obviously not great. But really, against black was screwed out of the way, because if takes, you'd have takes, and then you're threatening knight f6, so it's really kind of tough for black in this position anyway. But okay, we're going to go 1900 for the black side, or sorry, 1900 for the white side, and 2100 for the black side. It was me. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, I promise this this is not staged. Like, I don't know how to tell you this. This is not staged. I think that is the first time that I've said that it could be me. I think that is the first time in all 6 games that I've said it could be me. But I swear to you guys, I do not look at these games beforehand. Like, I make a very, even if the study opens to like one of these other tabs, like I always click on the other one. Like, I swear to you, this is not staged whatsoever. And I was just thinking, I was like, this is very possibly how I could have played this. And this is so embarrassing, by the way, because I lost to 1500, it looks like. And because, like, just the way that I played the opening, like, it made a lot of sense. Like, it makes sense that I would have played g6 there. I even just already recommended e6, which the computer doesn't love. So, like, this is a position that I'm still not that familiar with. But I had a feeling. I had a feeling about this game. Like, bishop f4, I would have never found, by the way. Yeah, apparently they really wanted bishop f4. Which was funny that I said I would have never gone knight c5. And then I was like, actually, knight c5 was a pretty good move. Wow, so at this point, black's just already toast. And then, yeah, like, that's what I was thinking. Like, the reason I thought this is because, like, bishop takes d7. Black is obviously worse. And so I was thinking that it has to be a game in which it's a strong player against a weak player. And because of the screw-ups in the opening, I was like, this is low-key how I would have played the opening. Because I'm telling you guys, like, if you go back and look at my old games, I did this all the time. Like, I made these stupid mistakes in the opening all the time. So I was thinking, like, when I was going through the opening, I was like, it's very possible that I played this way. But I kind of rejected it because I was thinking that I definitely would have gone for queen a5 here. And even still, I'm like, why did I not go for queen a5? Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. I just realized that white's threatening mate here. All right, this is not my proudest moment. I literally just realized that white's threatening mate here. Apparently I was better back then than I am now, which is funny because I just lost a couple games today, and I think, oops, I think I'm about 2371 right now, so I guess I haven't really improved in a year. That is so funny, guys. I swear to you, I just know myself. I'm telling you, I just know myself really well. That's so funny. I mean, honestly, my opponent played pretty well. Like, the way that they played the endgame there was very good. Like, see all these moves in a row with no mistakes. I mean, again, like, I wouldn't have started with e4 here. Like, I definitely would have started with castles here. Like, 100%, I would castle every time here. But the computer doesn't hate e4 at all. It says the moves are equal. And after king e8, rook f1 followed by bishop h6 is very strong. But yeah, the main reason why I thought this had to be such a stronger player from the black side is because I just didn't think a weak player would play bishop d7. Also, like, repeating once and then doing it, like, it's something that I would do. That's so funny. That is really so funny. My rating right now is 2365, so I've gone down 6 points in a little bit over a year here. That is so funny, man. I'm curious how I ended up doing in this arena. Okay, it looks like I didn't actually play that many games. I wonder if he found this on my profile, like if it was one of my lowest rated games, or lowest rated losses, rather. But I can't believe I even thought about that, because clearly the player that was playing the black pieces, like, I guess 2100, but, like, realistically, like, the performance rating was probably like 1800 or something. Like, it was much worse than 2100, but there was a couple things that tipped me off that made me think that the black player was maybe a bit stronger. That is so funny. How much time? Oh, I can't see how much time was taken here. Let me see if I can look and see how much time was taken on the move g6. Okay, yeah. 16 seconds just for a blunder. I mean, like, what was I even thinking here? Like, g6 doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand what the point of this move is. I mean, clearly black is threatening knight g5 and knight c5, and I just played g6. Like, it just, there's no, like, the queen's not even if the pawn was on e3, g6 would not be the best move. Because queen h5, g6, and the bishop covers h6, this square is already covered. Like, even if the pawn had been pushed, g6 wouldn't be the best move. But in this position, like, obviously g6 sucks. I don't know why I have no idea what was going on at this point. That is so funny. Okay, and I should have known bishop c4 is like not a good move. I should have known this was a lower rated player, but 1900s could make that move too. I mean, you're kind of going through for this one move threat. But generally this move just doesn't do a whole lot in atomic. Like, black always has ways that they can block. I feel like d5 would have been pretty strong here. Yeah, the computer says it's about equal. Okay. That's so funny. What a great submission from Study. I love it. So I guessed 2100 for the black player, and I was off by 271. Okay. So a total of 633. Oh my goodness, and this comes down to a photo finish unexpectedly. So I was off by 244 total points for Zacapillar's submission, which I was pretty proud of. I was able to correctly assess that this was a pretty low rated game. And then I was off by 633 on Study B's Study B's submission here, where at 1500 beat a 2300. And then I was off by 668 on Random Player's submission. So Random Player is your winner, and congrats to him. This was a good submission in terms of trying to confuse me. The opening was really well played, at least like for the first 9 moves. It was all booked. So I felt like this was stronger players, but it ended up being an 1800 and 1900 in a game where there really weren't too many mistakes. But okay, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks again to everyone for all the great submissions. Please keep them coming in the Discord server. I really do appreciate them, and I love these are one of my favorite series to make here. So I've got a couple more that have been submitted that I can use, but I'm always happy to get more from you guys. So please don't stop sending them to me. Please keep the submissions coming. And yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.